What's going on, YouTube? Today, we're going to be doing a 2022 mock draft, but we have a very, very, very special guest with us here with Broshmo himself. Say hi, Broshmo.
Hi, Broshmo.
He's going to be doing a collab with me. Thank you very much to that. And we're just going to be doing a mock draft and talking some football.
Hell yeah.
So, we're going to be going conferences. So, would you like to do the NFC or the AFC?
Here you choose, man.
All right. How about you go with the AFC and I'll do NFC?
Easy breezy. I think I did AFC last time with Hail Mary, so works out.
All right. So I think number one for the Detroit Lions, although I think the Texans will be holding this pick, I think I'm going to go with my number one quarterback in the class with Sam Howell. I think he fits the Lions scheme pretty well. I think I like the fit better than Spencer Rattler. But also, obviously if they're here at number one, Jared Goff was obviously nowhere near good enough. So you got to be looking towards the future there with that pick.
That's interesting that you got Howell over Rattler.
I do. I think, based off of what we've seen so far, I definitely like Howell a bit better. And I think, there's a lot of talk of him just being his weapons and stuff. And I don't think that's true necessarily. So.
Yeah, I think for most people, though, that's the 1 and 2,
Yeah. I see a lot of Malik Willis love too, but.
Yeah. I think consensus, though, when people are going with their top quarterback, it's typically Rattler, Howell. Yeah, you'll see maybe Willis occasionally there, but I think those are just people trying to be,
unique.
Yeah, that's a word.
Yeah, I mean it's really anybody's game though. To be honest, like any quarterback could be the number one. There may be a quarterback we're not even looking at yet that could end up being the number one. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. There's always the chance for this year's Joe Burrow or Zach Wilson. But, you made the pick easy for me with the Texans, man. I'm going to go Spencer Rattler then. We don't know what what lies ahead with that scenario. And, he doesn't want to be there, so I think they have to go elsewhere. They talk about Davis Mills, it's like he's a third-round pick. Like, okay. So, like, I get it. He's a third-round pick. He's not the second overall pick.
Yeah.
There's a big leap in talent there. So
I feel like I did like Davis Mills, but there was a very specific situation he had to have coming in, and I don't feel like the Texans. Yeah, I don't feel like the Texans are that situation. So, definitely makes sense as a pick there.
And then I got the Jacksonville Jaguars, don't I?
Yes.
Then I'm not even gonna think twice, man. We're going Kayvon Thibodeau. I feel like this one's kind of easy. Get them some pass rush. I think he doesn't necessarily have to be a hand-in-the-dirt pass rusher. If they want to stand him up, that's fine as well. They're kind of good in the secondary. Like, I just did their deep dive, actually. It just came out a couple hours ago. But their secondary is actually, like, especially the corner position, really good. So why not get edge rush? They're also going to have to figure out what they want to do with Josh Allen. I think his contract's up at the end of this season, or they got to figure out the fifth year option this year.
Yeah.
If not next year, one of the two. But regardless, just bring in pass rush. Like your secondary, you brought it together. Let's get to the quarterback.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. He's a very good player, obviously. Everyone knows that, of course. But yeah, the whole hand in the dirt thing, I think, you can move him to that outside linebacker since they're kind of switching to more of that 3-4 scheme. And, we've seen Josh Allen and K'Lavon Chaisson can both play hand in the dirt if you really want to put him more outside linebacker. So, yeah, I like the pick there for the Jaguars.
Yeah, and I mean, regardless with Jaguars, I think that it's like a hybrid 3-4 anyway. So it's gonna mimic a 4-man front anyway. So
yeah. So here with the Eagles, I think I have a pretty easy pick. There are, of course, a few other guys that come to mind, but I feel like Derek Stingley's got to be the pick here. They need, defense help in general so badly, but especially secondary help. Derek Stingley is one of the best athletes out of LSU we've seen probably since Patrick Peterson. He's just an incredible corner all around, and getting him across from Darius Slay just sounds really scary to me.
Oh yeah, no, totally. Yeah, I think these are probably the consensus top 4 players.
Yeah.
which makes this next pick, the Bengals, actually a little more difficult because you'd want to maybe go tackle. Is there a top 10 tackle in this class? Ooh, maybe not.
Evan Neal seems to be a popular pick with the Bengals.
Yeah, he just doesn't feel top 5, you know?
Yeah. I think he has that potential, but...
Oh, totally, yeah, he has that potential. Like, he's a big guy that moves way better than he should for, like, he's like 360.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say he's necessarily on, like, the Tristan Wirfs or Mekhi Becton type of level of athleticism.
Probably not. I remember Hail Mary Podcast did a deep dive on him, and he was basically showing, some of his college football playoffs footage, and, like, this guy was getting sat on his ass a lot. Like, a lot.
Yeah.
So...
Oh, gosh, this makes this really tough. They kind of went in on edge. Like, DeMarvin Leal is actually an interesting thought.
Yeah.
That interior, but I feel like they really try to address that defensive line. Protection's just such a big thing. Oh man, I think I'm gonna have to go. Am I? Nah, screw that, man. Screw that. I don't really know what they want to do with this defense. I'm gonna help try to get them a start corner. They might be moving more, or at least playing a bit more zone this year. At least I kind of assumed that with the Woozy pickup, but they played a lot of man last year. So I'm gonna go with Kaiir Elam.
Interesting.
Yeah. Just because I'm pretty confident that he can play both coverages as opposed to like Amon Gardner, who's been mostly a press man corner his whole career.
I get the pick.
Yeah, Elam, he's gonna be on the same level in terms of his athleticism, length, speed, and all that to CJ Henderson, who went 7th overall or something like that. So,
I think like 9th. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I get the pick. I mean, obviously losing William Jackson was big for them. Big hurt them. So I definitely get the pick. I feel like personally, Elam at 5 is a little high for me, but of course he can reach that high. I've seen someone with Elam over Stingley, so.
Yeah, and I mean, just looking like really, I think anybody at 5 outside of probably for me Leal, maybe Drake Jackson, feels kind of high. So
yeah,
or maybe another quarterback to be honest. So.
Well, I'm a big fan of Kyle Hamilton, so.
Yeah, I know. It's just safety's such a devalued.
I know safety is devalued. At the same time,
the running back of the draft.
At the same time, like NFL teams they value running backs and safeties higher than we do, for example. That's why you keep having like 2 running backs in the first round, or like Jamal Adams and stuff. And I feel like that'll be the same case of Kyle Hamilton, even though I think he's deserving of that.
We didn't have a safety this year, by the way.
Not this year, no, but
I don't even think the year before either. I'm not positive about that.
2020. Yeah, I don't know if we had a safety first round.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because I think Grant Delpit went in the 2nd.
Yeah, he went in the 2nd to the Browns.
Yeah. But yeah, I think if anything, it's probably more neglected now than running back. Though I would consider it more valuable.
Yeah, I mean, because if you look at, again, like if you have that kind of guy like a Jesse Bates, Justin Simmons, Tyrann Mathieu, they do make an impact for you.
Yeah. New York Jets. Oh wow, back on the clock. Interesting. All right, so consider the Jets' moves. They went very offensive. They went very heavy on offense. So you got to assume this is going to be defense. Again, this makes this incredibly tough. I would love a corner. It really depends how you feel. Like Trent McDuffie would be awesome. Just here at 6, maybe not so much. I'm not gonna lie, they're kind of set at safety unless they decide to part ways with Marcus May. He is on the franchise tag. Kyle Hamilton is very appealing.
I heard some rumors that they were apparently working out a contract extension, but
yeah, I can imagine, man. He deserves it. His play has actually been extremely solid. Maybe getting You know what? Go get in another viable pass rusher on the outside. It's not a bad option. Leo potentially could play on the outside, but 290 really makes me think he's an interior player. Drake Jackson has some high-end reps, so I'm going to go with Drake Jackson here.
Okay.
Yeah, if he just can be a bit more consistent, then yeah, just flash that high end upside more often. The dude's got the moves, and like, oh gosh, dude.
Yeah.
I think he could really break out this season.
With Jackson's, like, I see the traits there, obviously. I just feel like people are kind of overrating him a bit. He's kind of one of those guys that I feel like people are really banking off of, like, he's going to break out, and I just don't personally see that from him this year. Like what you were saying with Leo, like, DeMarvin Leo kind of gives me almost strong, like, Quinnen Williams vibes. Like, I think he fits that kind of mold, like the Jets kind of like. Because Quinnen Williams, he's built as a defensive tackle, but they use him, like, as a defensive end sometimes. And so kind of like with DeMarvin Leo, like, I feel like that could have been a good fit. But, yeah.
They're so stacked, though, already up on the interior. I mean, so much so, right now in training camp, they have, what is it, Franklin Myers playing opposite of Lawson.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that guy's an interior player.
Well, and, like, didn't they pick up Henry Anderson? And, like, they've got, obviously, Williams and Fadakasi, who I love.
Dude's a great run stopper.
Yeah, definitely.
That interior is really good.
Yeah.
They also got Jonathan Marshall from the draft last year, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have a very good front seven, so Drake Jackson makes that all the better.
Oh yeah.
So number 7 with the Giants. This is an interesting spot here. There are a lot of different players they could use here. I mean, like they don't, there's obviously a guy like Jabril Peppers, like Xavier McKinney obviously has that upside. So they kind of have a couple guys at safety already, but Kyle Hamilton's still a great player, obviously. Evan Neal honestly could be a pick because like Matt Pert played well at times, but Nate Solder's older, and Andrew Thomas hasn't really been good so far.
He was better down the stretch. We were seeing it come together.
He just was. He was pretty awful. Like at the beginning, is really what it was. But yeah, of course. But compared to just like a Tristan Wirfs or Mekhi Becton, it wasn't where you would want it. But
I feel that's a bit unfair, just in terms of the type of athletes, the explosiveness that guys like Wirfs, Becton, and even Jedrick Wills. Those guys were off the charts. Andrew Thomas was none of that, and I don't think he was ever gonna be.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. Typically, we won't find out if these guys are good until about year 3 at the tackle position or offensive line in general.
Yeah, I think I would like to go Christian Harris. I also really like Christian Harris. I know you don't like Christian Harris.
It's not that I don't like him. He's just bad in coverage.
I know he's bad in coverage, and I want to go, but honestly, I'm gonna go Malik Willis.
Micah Parsons, if you're trying to say that.
I'm gonna go Malik Willis, and that's exactly why. It's because I don't think if he's not like that Micah Parsons type, if he's not good in pass coverage, I want him to at least be a great pass rusher or something. And Christian Harris isn't, so I'm gonna go Malik Willis for the Giants. I feel like if you're down here at 7. Pretty much the only reason you're down here at 7 at this point is because Daniel Jones isn't working out. He has no excuses with that kind of an offense, even if the offensive line isn't the greatest in the world. So I'm going to go Malik Willis here. I think he's a guy that won't be afraid to chuck it down the field, and the Giants have shown they are successful when throwing it down the field. Danny Dimes just doesn't like doing that for some reason. And so overall, I just feel like that's probably the best direction for them to go here if they're this low or this high.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. That's who I would have gone, so.
Yeah. And then number 8 at the Falcons, back on the clock again. I mean, there are a few different directions they could go here. Again, Kyle Hamilton's still on the board because their safeties aren't the best in the world. Keanu Neal, isn't he on his last year this year?
Keanu Neal's in Dallas.
Oh, did he leave? Oh, okay. Yeah, so safety, bit of an issue there. Tackle could also be a dark horse need.
They got Richard. They grabbed Richie Grant.
Oh yeah, that heart. Yeah. We'll see with him, but Like Evan Neal
Yeah,
could be a
Jalen
dark horse
Hawkins,
pick.
too, got a little bit of time last year to shine. I was pretty high on him out of Cal.
Yeah. I mean,
still, they're not, Hamilton level.
I think for this pick, I feel like it's either got to be Olave or Leal, because obviously they just got rid of Julio Jones. Like, their wide receiver depth already sucked, so like getting a guy could be necessary here, especially if they're still trying to compete right now. But DeMarvin Leal, though, I just feel like that's such a great fit. They still need pass rush, and kind of like I said, he can be that almost like switch to defensive end type guy. Even then, they can still use him right next to Grady Jarrett. So I'm going to go DeMarvin Leal. I think it's just a really nice fit there with the Falcons, and they need pass rush help pretty bad. So,
Leal's a great pick, man. I don't fault that one bit. All right, Denver Broncos. Like, this has to be a quarterback. You're picking in the top 10. Obviously, Teddy Bridgewater didn't work out. He's a bridge quarterback anyway, and I'm not even going to bring up Drew Lock. If you're a true Drew Lock, like truther, then you're in denial.
Listen, I think there's stuff there. I'm not saying he's going to be great, but I feel like there is stuff there. Like as a processor, he definitely needs a lot of help, but like he has traits. Like arm talent is there. He shows flashes of great play. If he sucks this year, then yes, he's definitely not the guy, because like there's no excuse at this point. But this is the first every year that he's keeping consecutive coordinators, consecutive playbooks. He had COVID, that whole thing last year. Like, I feel like if he fails this year, then yes, very obviously he's not the guy, but I think he has the traits. This is the first every year with continuity through pro football and college football. I want to give him at least one more chance with this kind of a team and see what he does. But if they're picking here, then obviously, yes, he's not the guy.
Josh Rosen and Dwayne Haskins had traits.
They did, but they didn't have that same kind of team.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. It's just like, at this point, we're just projecting.
Yeah.
If they're picking 9, obviously they were bad. They were a bad team. Drew Lock sucked. Maybe didn't even win the starting job. So this has to be quarterback. And with that type of squad, like if they're going to retain Courtland Sutton, who's just a jump ball machine with his size, KJ Hamler, who is a vertical threat out of the slot, I want a guy with a cannon. So I'm not going Slovis here. Slovis is probably going to be my 4th quarterback, but he's just not that guy. He's extremely accurate. Kind of got a noodle for an arm. I'm going with Carson Strong, man. He's actually the next guy on my rankings currently with quarterback. Like, if there's going to be a guy to emerge again, I don't necessarily have Strong as a first rounder. Like I have Slovis as like first rounder right now. But if we're going to project maybe another 4th quarterback to get into the shakeup here, I think it could be Strong. Weak schedule. Like a cannon for an arm. He's bringing back, Romeo Dubs, his lead wide receiver.
Yeah.
So maybe he's the guy that emerges here. And yeah, dude, guy's got a cannon. That offense is built for a guy with a cannon. So.
Yeah, I see that. I feel like I thought you were gonna go with Ritter for a second, to be honest, because
I'm not a big Ritter fan.
Yeah, I just feel like this is a team that like they don't need a Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen. They just need like a Kirk Cousins or a Ryan Tannehill. Like they just need a guy who can get the job done.
Which would be the slowest.
Yeah, or I mean, I feel like Ritter could be that guy too because he doesn't have that insane like upside or whatever. I feel like he's more of just like what you're gonna get, but I feel like it's a safe, somewhat safe bet in a way.
I don't know, like going back through him last season, he is kind of inaccurate.
Yeah.
Like, kind of bad inaccurate. Like, granted, a lot of his stuff was on the run, like bootleg, so he wasn't really setting his feet on, like, some of these throws, but, like, I just don't think his Yeah, I don't. From an accuracy standpoint, I don't think he's first rounder. I think he's a day 2 guy.
Yeah, I can't really give my 2 cents on Carson Strong. I really just haven't looked at him enough to like be able to give my thoughts on him, so I'm not quite sure how to critique it.
And I was like, gosh, dude, I see why people loved this guy last year and wanted him to come out, but
Okay, well, yeah, I feel like regardless, if the Broncos aren't in the playoffs, then the pick has to be a quarterback. It doesn't matter who.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, it's like, if we end up only getting 3 guys that are for sure first rounders, which I highly doubt, I think someone will probably emerge. Then yeah, this pick it's kind of rough. If you're the Broncos, you need to move up. Like, your team's pretty well put together. Make a move to get one of the top quarterbacks in this class.
Yeah, and I believe that they'll land either Rodgers or Watson, but
yeah, exactly. I'm still waiting on that Rodgers thing.
Ben Aubrey give 60 to 1 odd or 60 to 40 odds that the Broncos got Rodgers, so we'll have to see. But
it's either that or he goes back and hosts Jeopardy.
Yeah, but sounds like he'd not be too mad about that. So
you're Aaron Rodgers, man.
Yeah,
you've made your money. You got your Super Bowl. What more do you have to prove?
So number 10, Giants back on the clock, and like, I wanted to go with Christian Harris last time. And since they're picking again, they already got their quarterback. I think I'm gonna go with Christian Harris. Like,
you're gonna go linebacker for the Giants?
I am, because like I don't think it's a realistic pick. Giants are not a team that values the linebacker position, obviously. But like,
yeah, they got Blake Martinez back there.
I know, and he sucks though. He sucks so bad, and like people overrate him.
He's so good in Joe Judge's system.
Yeah, he's just a good tackler. That's it, though. Like, that's why he racks those.
Joe Judge works with that.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't put him in position to be a liability in coverage, and he hasn't been.
Yeah, I mean, it's a smart signing. I just feel like Christian Harris, like, he's a really good run defender. Not a really good run defender. It's probably his best trait. Like, and that's not, he's, okay. Sucks in pass coverage. I think overall, I still like the potential on him. I still think he has that upside. He has the athleticism for sure.
You're not wrong about potential. I do agree with that.
And I feel like the Giants again are one of those more well put together squads to where it's like you got your quarterback now. Your team's so well put together. I feel like you can take a bet on a guy like Christian Harris where if he doesn't work out, oh well, but if he does, you get yourself an elite linebacker.
Okay.
That's kind of my thinking, but number 11 with Washington. Again, I feel like it's got to be a quarterback, right? Like, they're so well put together. If they're down here, it's because Taylor Heineke or Ryan Fitzpatrick didn't do anything for them. And like, for me personally, it's between Ritter or Slovis, and I think between the two, like for Washington, like I think I just like the fit of Slovis better. Like,
you think Riverboat Ron will go with Slovis?
I don't know. I think, like, they're not a team that loves, from what I've seen, that loves to go downfield like that much.
To be fair, they didn't really have a quarterback that was capable. Alex Smith doesn't do that.
Yeah.
I don't think Heineke necessarily has the arm to consistently do that. I don't know. We'll be able to tell more this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be a quarterback, and I think between Ritter or Slovis, I think I just like Slovis a bit better with Washington.
Which is true, I do too.
Yeah, so that's really the thinking there, but.
All right, so I got the Las Vegas Raiders. Of course, quarterback would be great, but that's not an option here. If I was to make a Raiders pick, man, shoot, I don't even know where to begin.
Probably looking at like C.J. Verdell.
Jeez.
Austin Stogner.
No, I think they would still get a quality player, but a second round quality player.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think this defense still obviously needs some fine tuning. And I'm gonna be honest, man. I really feel like they still need some sort of pass rush.
Yeah, did you see Yannick Ngakoue called him and Max Crosby the best pass rushing duo in the NFL yesterday?
Dude, and I'm going to say this. I think Cleveland Farrell actually will probably overtake Crosby.
Really?
Yeah, dude, he was way more effective than Crosby in terms of win rate last year.
I gotta disagree. I'm not a big fan of Pharrell, and I actually really like Crosby personally.
I'm not a big fan of Pharrell either. I mean, he's always going to have that stigma of being a reach. But nah, like Crosby, people look at his like sack and pressure total, but they don't see how like this guy was on the field almost every snap last year. Like a lot of that reminds me of like the Dante Fowler, where it's like he's an adequate number 2, and even then, it's not like he's putting up Fowler numbers.
Yeah,
but
the defense still just as a whole needs a lot of help.
Yeah, regardless, it needs a lot of help. Okay, cool. This is tough though. Jeez, who would I go with at edge here? Or I could even lay into corner because really nothing's for sure at corner. And maybe I feel better about corner. Gosh, but they're still probably playing a bit zone heavy. I really think this team should switch to like a more man heavy scheme, like cover one looks and stuff.
I don't know, because like every time like Trayvon Mullen and who's the other kid that really
Damon Arnett.
Yeah, whenever they're on man coverage, they get exposed so hard.
Their athleticism, like they're press man corners.
Yeah.
Like under Paul Gunther, like they were getting trashed in zone. They bring in Casey Hayward, who he's a bit better at that, but.
I think Trayvon Mullins last year was the worst starting corner in the NFL. So
nah, just because Damon Arnett was across from.
All right, well, number ones. Number ones.
Yeah, but I don't think I would consider him a number 1. I think he's going to be much better this year.
Raiders fans better hope.
Tough pick. Like Kyle Hamilton be fun, but I mean. I think he's too similar to Trevon Merrick. Not in terms of ability, but in terms of the position they'll play in that secondary.
Yeah.
It's a bit early to be going interior line, though I do love Tyler Linderbaum a lot. I mean, for the sake of value, I think you have to go corner. I really do. And if that's the case...
You gonna go Sauce?
But I mean, are they gonna be playing, man?
Probably not.
I would love to go Sauce here.
But he's probably the best corner on the board.
He is. But I mean, also, him and Trent McDuffie, they come from 2 very different systems. McDuffie's probably one of the better zone corners in here, while Gardner's probably one of the best, man.
PFN has him all the way at 97.
Huh?
PFN has him all the way at 97.
Yeah, well, screw PFN.
Yeah, they got some weird rankings.
Yeah, me and PFN don't have a cool track history.
Yeah.
And then obviously Andrew Booth, for a lot of people, is kind of like this other guy in this class that's going to be intriguing. I don't know so much. I'm going to go with Sauce, man.
Sauce.
I say, hey, maybe they try to complement their other 2 young corners. They go more to maybe a press man scheme. But what the hell do I know?
That would obviously definitely benefit Sauce, obviously. I love Sauce. Like, I feel like there's not enough people talking about him or having him all the way at 26. I feel like it's just disrespectful because
he does need to put on some weight.
Yeah, but like you said, when he's press man, he's probably the best in college football.
He has been for a couple of seasons.
Yeah, so I love Sauce and I love his ability and stuff. So yeah, I like that pick for the Raiders. But all right, Panthers here at 13.
You got the next 3. Good luck, my friend.
Yeah, Panthers. I'm just kind of trying to think where they would go in this situation because I'm thinking receiver is a possibility because obviously Curtis Samuel's gone. They could use that kind of slot replacement.
They brought in the cat at LSU, Marshall.
Terrace Marshall. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of him as a star. I feel like he's a depth player more than anything, really.
think they drafted that
Uh-oh.
player in the second round.
Oh, sorry, you just froze up for a second.
Oh.
I mean, hey, stupid picks happen all the time.
Oh wow!
I'm not hating on Terrace Marshall. I'm just saying, like, I personally
Sounds
wouldn't
like
have.
an indictment to me.
I personally wouldn't have taken him in the second round, just personally. But,
I thought that was a massive steal.
I personally wouldn't have.
I had fringe first round on him.
I know a lot of people liked him, but I had like late second, early third on him. So I just don't think he's going to be anything special. But, again, I feel like Evan Neal might be a bit of a dark horse pick here because like their offensive line still really sucks. If you want, you can move him into guard, which also really sucks for them.
Yeah, you could also do vice versa because they grabbed Christensen, right?
Brady Christensen, yeah. So like he can play tackle for him, move Evan Neal into guard, which I feel like
you could move vice versa.
Yeah.
You could do the same.
So yeah, receiver or like in that same case, I also really like Kenyon Green here, but I still view Evan Neal as the number one in this class.
Yeah. Because he's playing tackle at least.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably the two most likely picks here is Evan Neal or Olave's not like he could play the slot, but he's not like a slot receiver. Obviously, like he's not the guy that immediately pops off as like, a Curtis Samuel.
Wherever you want to play him.
I also would really love like the physicality of Treylon Burks with this Panthers team, but I'm gonna go Chris Olave here. I just feel like getting a replacement for Curtis Samuel. You've got a super deep wide receiver room at that point. Like
Interesting.
I get Evan Neal here too, but I just like I don't know. I just like Olave here a bit more to the Panthers.
All right, Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, Vikings. I love the idea of getting Zach Harrison here across from Danielle Hunter. If he's still there after this next year. Kyle Hamilton, I feel like it's got to be.
They just restructured his deal.
It's a weird contract where basically he'll be there for this year. They basically moved.
Right?
Yeah, they front loaded his contract, and so then depending on how he plays this year, basically they'll either resign him to a deal, restructure his deal, or release him. So yeah, it's a weird deal.
Releasing him. That's at least a trade. You can't release a caliber.
Yeah, well, but regardless, it would be to play. Obviously, still getting Zach Harrison would be great. Receiver, I feel like is a dark horse pick for them because Thielen is getting older, but I feel like again beyond Thielen and Jefferson, they don't have much there in the room. I feel like that's maybe not in the first round, but I feel like maybe second or third. Corner also has to be a consideration here because they kind of just patched it up with Patrick Peterson and Alexander Madison or whatever his name is. Mackenzie Alexander, and I get like Patrick Peterson will probably not play as bad as he did last year. This is a much easier scheme for him. I still don't think he's going to be great, and he's only there for 1 year. So Sevyn Banks is intriguing here for me at 14, but like so many corners have already gone off the board. It's kind of like, I'm gonna go with Kyle Hamilton, and here's my reasoning why. Not only do I think it's tremendous value at 14 for them to get Kyle Hamilton, but like Harrison Smith's starting to get a bit older. First off, but losing Anthony Harris, they really don't have anyone across from. They signed like Xavier Woods or whatever.
Xavier Woods, yeah, but he's like just a 1 year deal.
Yeah, I feel like again Kyle Hamilton's my favorite player in the class. So not only is 14 fantastic value, but just again Harrison Smith getting older, they really don't have anyone good across from Harrison Smith. Zimmer's defense could use like an elite playmaker like this, so I just think like I like that pick the best here for the Vikings.
That's good. I like that.
And then 15 for the Cardinals. I'm not really gonna think about this one. Like there are of course a few other picks you could go with. Receiver could still be a pick here. Tackle obviously, but like it's got to be Sevyn Banks for me. That corner room is just it's so bad.
You're high on him, man.
I am, but like you got to get someone there because like it's just so bad. Like,
dude, I don't know, man. Banks was pretty bad in the last time we saw him.
I know, but you got to take a bet on someone, and like Andrew Booth could be the pick here. Sure, I like Trent. I like Trent McDuffie too, but I like Seven Banks a bit better personally.
I get like he's athletic. He's got length. He's got the top 10, like that top 10 cornerback elite vibes. Just lacks the play.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like regardless, it had to be a corner here, and I just kind of felt Seven Banks the most here for the Cardinals.
All right. So I got the Steelers. Shoot, man. I'm not gonna go quarterback. I just don't feel like there's another first round quarterback currently. I know people feel some type of way about Ritter, but I don't see it. And like honestly, the only way he benefits by coming back, I think, is if there's a 12-team playoff.
Yeah.
But so we're not going quarterback. I feel good about the rest of. Oh, you know what? Screw that. Hold up.
Evan Neal's still on the board.
Yeah, Evan Neal's still on the board. That's what I was thinking. I was like, I was trying to like, okay, who did they grab at tackle this year? It was the Texas A&M cat, which I wasn't a big fan of anyway. People got mad when I said that was like the biggest reach in the draft.
Dan Moore?
Yeah, Dan Moore. I was like, I had him like 325 on my big board, right? People got mad when I was like, yeah, that was a big reach for me. I'm sorry. It was like, oh, no, he's talented. I was like,
yeah.
I couldn't tell. The Senior Bowl, he was pretty bad.
I mean, I liked the Illinois guy that they got. What was his name?
Yeah, Kendrick Green?
Yeah, I liked him as a pickup, obviously, but they still need a lot of help offensively line.
Yeah, Evan Neal. Yeah, easy breezy.
Yeah.
I actually like this pick a ton, especially, hey, you brought in Najee, you got Pat Fryermuth, who's a pretty good blocking tight end. Obviously, you want to make this a run-heavy game. If Ben's coming back for another year, best case scenario, you might not even have to throw the football.
Plus, Najee and Evan have that Bama connection, and he fits that Steelers like build for an offensive lineman.
Yeah, yep.
So yeah, all around great pick. If he's here, definitely a great pick.
Oh yeah. And then for the New England Patriots, they always do interesting things. I mean, being able to get Mac Jones. Wow, Mac Jones. I was looking at Zach Harrison. That's why.
Yeah.
Mac Jones. Mac Jones, like not having to trade up was a huge win. So like, what's the next move for this squad? I feel like they really could go anywhere. I would just be grabbing like, okay, who's top on my board? Let's go with that. Which it's a bit tougher because like there's a lot of edge talent. I would love to go edge, but like they don't really need it, man. They've kind of invested in that quite a bit. Corner would be ideal. I don't like McDuffie for the system, which leaves me, if I'm looking at my corners, maybe a Martin Emerson. You could throw Kendrick.
Darion Kendrick?
Is it Darion Kendrick?
Yeah.
Man, yeah. It's been so long. Can't even remember him anymore. Like, he'll be interesting. Booth, I get why people like Booth. For me, he's a day two just because we haven't seen a ton of them. And he was another guy that had a rough outing against Ohio State. There was a few corners that had rough playoff games. Like, Banks was one.
Yeah.
Booth. Yeah, so I think I am gonna go with corner, and I'm gonna go with I don't even know if they actually have this cat on here. Yeah, they don't have him.
Who?
Martin Emerson at Mississippi State.
They don't have him on here?
Nah.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of wild, right?
Dude's fantastic.
I was trying to remember the last time I did this with Hail Mary podcast.
Huh.
There was a couple of guys we liked that they didn't have on here.
That's weird.
Yeah, so I'm just going to put a guy named Martin out of Tulsa that I haven't looked at once.
Same.
But, Martin Emerson was shut down in the SEC last year.
Yeah.
And I think he's working with a lot more speed than Cameron Dantzler was. But the dude's got great length, great size, 6'2", 195. He's close to that 200, which you like to see from a press corner. So,
yeah, to be honest, I was kind of surprised you didn't look at receiver at all, just because I thought Wilson or Burks could have been.
I was, but I'm not terribly high on the receiving class. I feel like we're now in the range where I'd consider receivers, that mid to late first. But, yeah. I'm kind of all indifferent about this receiving class. I feel like it's just we've been spoiled by the last two.
Yeah, so. It's nowhere close to the last two, but it still has talent. But
oh yeah, it's got talent. It's just
it's the same way with people taking 3 quarterbacks in the top 3 and stuff again. People need to get this out of their head that it's every year is going to be the 2020 and 2021 class. We're not going to have those types of quarterback classes and stuff every single year from now on.
Yeah. I agree. But, I think Radler could, he could elevate. He's probably, out of all the quarterbacks in this class, I think could elevate himself to, where I would say he could maybe go 3 or 4 in last year's class.
Yeah, it just depends on his consistency, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. For me, that's really the only question mark. I'm the Chargers. This actually worked out pretty well. Trent McDuffie is a perfect scheme fit for Staley. Staley? Yeah, that's who's coaching there now, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm going Trent McDuffie. I'm pretty high on him. He's really good there at Washington. Watch some Trent McDuffie, man. He's good.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I like the pick there. Cowboys at 19. Yeah, I would have loved to go corner here, except you kind of took them all.
Yeah, they kind of went on a run.
Yeah, so, because I still think they need a lot of corner help. I don't think Kelvin Joseph is going to fix their issues there. So, if you're not going to go corner, though, offensive line, like a Kenyon Green, obviously, if, their entire offensive line gets hurt again, he'd be nice to have, or even for the future. Zach Harrison as well. I think they're a better scheme fit, but he is still a very talented pass rusher. If they want to get someone to play D end, because they don't really have anyone besides DeMarcus Lawrence. Other than that, maybe you want to go safety with a Jordan Battle or a Brandon Joseph, but it's a little high for them. So I
feel like they could probably. I think we could see 3 first-round safeties.
We could. I don't feel like there's first rounds right now, though, personally. But
I think the top 3 in this class is better than anything in last year's class
and the year before.
Yeah, I can't. What was it? Grant Delpit was probably the top safety in that class.
Delpit and McKinney.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So yeah, for the Cowboys here, I'm gonna go Kenyon Green, in case, if there's that security, because they are facing a lot of injury issues right now. But even if, they want to start him sometime in the near future or whatever, he has that versatility to really play pretty much anywhere on the offensive line. I think he's a better, guard than he is a tackle, but we'll see how he plays a tackle this year, so.
Indeed.
In the Eagles, 20. This is tough, because they have such a deep pass rush already that it makes it a little tough to take Zach Harrison, even though I really love him here. But I feel like I'm gonna go receiver here, with Treylon Burks. They still need receiving help. They have Jalen Reagor, who's mainly a slot guy, Devontae Smith, who I don't think he's gonna be as great as people think in the NFL. I feel like Treylon Burks could be kind of like that, that opposite of Devontae Smith, the big physical, guy that Devontae Smith can go up and get it, but obviously he's a smaller guy and stuff. Plays with more physicality than he has, but Treylon Burks, though, he's just that big physical receiver, and I think the Eagles could really use that. So,
yeah, no, I like that. I like that a lot. And he's a guy that can operate out of the slot too. I mean, that's actually where a majority of the time he lines up.
Yeah.
Good pick. I like that pick. Let's see. What are we gonna do here? I am the Titans. I'm probably just gonna go defense. I'm gonna keep improving the secondary. They're gonna be starting, I assume, Hooker in the box. And we just haven't seen a lot of them. I was pretty high on him coming out of the draft, but again, we haven't seen a lot of them. So I'm gonna probably go. It's honestly a toss-up. I really like both Battle and Joseph a ton. I think both can really work wherever you want them to and need them to. Both have significant snaps in the box, the slot, and deep. I think I might just lean Jordan Battle here, though.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, makes sense. They need secondary help.
Just a bigger sample size, too, from him compared to Joseph.
Yeah, so, yeah, no gripes with that pick.
Yeah. Indianapolis Colts, they didn't do anything about their tackle position.
They signed Eric Fisher.
They brought in Eric Fisher. He's on a 1 year, though, right?
Not sure, but let me look it up really quick.
Yeah, I was going to say quick Google search.
Regardless, I still like that they at least brought someone in.
Well, yeah, but I think if it's a 1 year, still...
It's a 1 year, $8 million.
Okay, yeah, 1 year. All right, screw it. He's not the future then. I'm going to go with actually my tackle, my number 2 tackle, Jackson Kirkland. He's listed as a guard here. No, but yeah, I'm actually a big fan of his. He was pretty good last year. I think last year was his first time playing left tackle. He was playing right tackle the previous years, and he's been very solid. Like if you're like when it comes to the offensive line, you're just looking for win rate, and he has one of the best.
Yeah.
And if he could get above, because he is sitting at 295, at least that's what he's listed at, he does need to desperately get above that 300, 310. But yeah, outside of that, man, I'm a big fan of his game, man. Big fan of his game.
Yeah, I like him too. He's, I believe he's my number 5 or 6 tackle. So I'm not quite as high on him, but yeah, I still do get the pick, and I think he's a really nice fit there with the Colts.
Oh, yeah. And then here we are with the New York Jets. I went Drake Jackson early. So what are we going to do now then with them? I feel like, geez, dude, it would just be nice to go with corner, man. Like, maybe I should have went earlier on corner with them with their first pick. So I feel like there's a lot of edge talent at this point. It's like, how much are we reaching on corner here? Let's see. See, for me, the question is then, who do I anticipate to be better, Kendrick or Booth?
I feel like Kendrick has higher upside if he just stays out of trouble.
Yeah. And you know what? Screw it. I'm actually not even going to go corner now that I think about it. I'm going to go with my boy out of LSU. Where's he at? Is he not on here?
Wait, Mike Jones?
Mike Jones.
I don't think he's on here, no.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Mike.
I'm going with, Mike Jones out of LSU. He's kind of coming from playing like that Isaiah Simmons role at Clemson, and he's going to be more of a traditional linebacker there at LSU. That's actually a big reason he made the why he transferred. So I think he's gonna be exceptionally well. I'm a big fan of his. He's probably the best linebacker in coverage in this class. So yeah.
Are you going to take Mike Rose at any point during this 3 round? Because I was thinking of putting him here in place of Mike Jones.
Like he's like borderline for me. Day 2, day 3 guy.
I'll just do some random like tight end or something.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Brock Miller. I haven't looked at him at all, so
I'm gonna go with Daniel. Amoder Bahe or whatever his name is. He's the brother of that other Amader Bahibi, or however you say their names.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
All right,
All right.
so you're up, my friend.
Saints at 24. And
And just a side note, like Fred Warner. Just gonna throw that name out there. I'm not saying him and Mike Jones are similar players. They have similar skill sets, and I think Salah would love that.
by the way, like I'm just like still a little like, Mike Jones was just like one of those random names where it was like, who? When I first heard you talk about him, and like he's like you're basically just super predicting him to have a great year, right? Because like I've not seen anyone else talking about him.
Yeah, I mean guys go to LSU to try to get drafted early. Jabril Cox did the same thing. I mean, look at what we had Patrick Queen the year before. So
yeah.
I mean, I know Jabril Cox fell, but for the most part, everyone considered him largely a day 2 guy.
I was still surprised Jabril Cox fell because he's like so great in pass coverage.
That's the NFL draft, man. Good players fall. Dude, I had guys with 3rd round grades that went undrafted.
Yeah. Jamie Newman. I know you loved him a lot, and he
just got released too.
I know, and he just got cut, yeah. And passed through waivers, so
yeah. I mean, the dude's exceptionally raw. Like, I get it. He's not everyone's cup of tea, and I don't think he's going to be able to hold a roster spot anyway. Just with how raw he is, you don't want him as a backup. He's totally a developmental guy. So
here for the Saints, like Zach Harrison's a really intriguing pick because like he's just fallen so far. Like he'd be a tremendous value pick at this point.
Yeah, I feel like you could probably say that about 5 the edge guys at this point.
Yeah,
that it feels like they should have gone higher.
But Garrett Wilson and John Mechie are also really popping out to me right now because they do need receiver help pretty badly. They could address corner, but there's just no corners left at this point. So I'm going to go receiver, and I'm going to go with Garrett Wilson. I had this in one of my mock drafts. I think it was actually in the one you looked at, but I really love the fit of Garrett Wilson with the Saints. They need a receiver really bad. You have a slant boy and then no one else over there, so.
Nah, it's a good pick, man. Big fan. Garrett Wilson, he's my wide receiver too. I like him better than Chris Olave, so.
He's my 5. I do have Mechie and Bell over him, but I just love the fit so much of the Saints and Wilson.
All right. With the Cleveland Browns, I'm just doing a quick check on something before I make a final decision on who I want to go. Because I know there's a player that right now sitting in this range that I would love, but oh gosh, yeah, okay. With the Browns, I'm actually gonna go with Tyler Linderbaum.
Interesting.
I love Linderbaum, big fan. I think he's a good scheme fit there in Cleveland with Stefanski, and I had to go and make sure with JC. Was it Treader? Yeah, Treader, who's been excellent for the Browns. He's not a free agent until after the 2022 season, but he will be 31 in that year. They could cut him and save almost $10 million, and it'll only be like 1.5 mil dead cap. So, big cut candidates. And if you could replace that talent with someone just as good, the run game is obviously a big part of that offense. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Linderbaum. I think that is a good pick.
That's probably the most interesting pick in this so far.
Yeah, I know. I was like, man, I really like Linderbaum, but man, where does he go? And yeah, I just had to do a quick check.
Personally, I love him to the Eagles and the Steelers if like the Steelers can't get a quarterback or whatever.
The Eagles, they brought in Anna Dickerson.
Yeah, but yeah, obviously he has a lot of health issues.
So,
Well, he has a lot of health issues, and so does Brandon Brooks and stuff. So
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think we'll know about those health issues until he actually gets on the field. I don't think he'll play at all this year, unless the Eagles just continue to be hurt up front.
He fell in the draft because apparently like they got reports on his like injury and stuff, and apparently just the words we heard were they were very concerning. So that's why he kind of fell a bit.
He's got an extensive injury history, so
because if he didn't deal with injuries, he would have been a first rounder easily. He's that talented, but
yeah,
fins up.
Oh man, Miami Dolphins. This is such a tough pick because this is a San Fran's pick. So I'm assuming. Oh wow, the Colts. They don't actually have the Colts pick change to the Eagles.
Yeah, apparently they don't think Carson Wentz is going to play that much this year.
What is it, 70% of his snaps?
I think it's 75%
of the offensive snaps.
Yeah,
that's silly. So yeah, I guess they have the Dolphins picking 20, which is nice. It means probably Tua's trended in the right direction. Where can they improve? Linderbaum would have been nice. Offensive line wouldn't be bad. I'm not too crazy about the rest of this defensive interior class. In terms of like there being a first rounder.
I like Haskell Garrett and Corey Durden.
Yeah. Garrett's just I don't think he's played over 300 snaps. Maybe I'm thinking of Togiai.
Maybe.
Durden's going to be interested. I think that was a very smart transfer on his part. The Dolphins, they brought in Holland, go there, play on the back. And,
Phillips.
They re-signed Baker, which I'm not in love with that extension.
Yeah, that was I feel like $13 million a year is way too much for Jerome Baker, but I guess the linebacker market is about to take a huge jump, so.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with Nick Bonito, actually.
Nick Bonito.
Yeah, I think you can kind of play him maybe in a Jamie Collins-like role or a Kyle Van Noy type of role where the dude's dropped back in coverage a ton of times, proving that he can do that and do that efficiently. But mainly, I don't know if he's going to be able to get up weight to be a every down pass rusher because he's sitting at 238 right now, I think. And you really want those guys at 250, 255. I don't know if he's ever going to get up to that, but I mean, if you got a role, he's going to probably be a scheme specific type of player. And the Dolphins, that's a scheme where he can work efficiently in. So
yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I think there's a few other pass rushers I would have taken before him as pass rushers, but the overall fit though, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Baltimore Ravens, mother trucker, dude. I'm on a roll here with picks. Baltimore Ravens, they did a lot, man. They did a lot this year. What else can we do for them? I mean, Alejandro Villanueva, he's going to be the right tackle there?
Yeah.
How good do I feel about the aspects of this tackle?
They just signed Jawan James too, so.
Oh, that's right.
But it was a 3-year deal or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2 years, I think.
2 years.
That's a good call. I forgot about that. So they brought in, what was it, Rashad Bateman, and who was their other first rounder? It was
Odafe Owe.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna go because they love the safety position. They value it a lot. Get a guy with a lot of versatility in Brandon Joseph out of Northwestern.
Yep, I like that pick. They need safety help in general.
Yeah. Chuck Clark and Deshaun Elliott, they're fine, but get another guy to be in that rotation, that could actually probably be better than both those guys.
They would be better off if Earl Thomas never cheated on his wife, but
Dang, dude, shots fired, bro.
Lions at 28, so they took Sam Howell all the way back with the first pick. So here for the Lions, there's a lot of places they can go. I'm releasing my deep dive on the Lions today, 17th, So obviously this will be
about that, man.
they,
Lion fans are ruthless.
I know, but like when I'm going over it, like the only position I really like on the entire Lions team is like some of the offensive line positions and like right end. That's literally it. So they can go so many different positions here.
Yeah, honestly, anything in the back seven on defense, and like if you wanted to go grab more playmakers on offense, I think all those are the right calls.
Yeah. So I think like because a lot of the corners and safeties already been taken. Linebacker, there's not really anyone else I'd consider a first rounder right now. Edge, like they could get edge help, like pass rush help, but they still need receiving help pretty badly. I love Amon-Ra St. Brown, but like
he's probably their slot.
Yeah, he's just their slot. So like Tyrell Williams is on a 1-year deal, I think. Brashad Perryman is Brashad Perryman.
Yeah, both are 1-year deals.
Yeah, it's between Ross, Mechie, and Bell for me. I'm gonna go John Mechie here. I like him, but I love just the upside. I still think he can be the best out of these last 5 Bama receivers. He's just he's got insane traits. If he fixes like the drop issues, and really just steps up as that number 1, I think he could be way higher than 28. And I like him overall as a fit there with the Lions and stuff. And get Sam Howell a receiver.
All right.
Packers at 29. I feel like this team has like not that many needs, but I don't know if they're going to be nearly picking this low because of Aaron Rodgers and stuff. Because like I know they're a great team, but I fully believe with Jordan Love, they're not a playoff team. Like Jordan Love is bad. Jordan, he couldn't even win the backup job last year. Like what?
Okay, well, I mean, you don't want to be throwing your rookie. I don't think that's an indictment. I think the backup job was meant for someone. If Aaron was to get hurt, they would have confidence in going in, playing, and moving the offense efficiently. Love, he's developmental. I don't think he was ever going to win the backup job, even if he was ready.
I don't know, but he's not been like they're saying he looks so amazing in training camp, and like he's really not.
Everyone looks amazing in training camp.
Not Tua.
Like,
Tua.
Whenever someone okay, well,
Tua yesterday was bad.
It wasn't raining. It was like bad weather. But regardless, whatever people are saying about training camp, like I think people need to just throw that idea out of the water. Whatever you're seeing offensive and defenses doing right now, that's not what they're going to be doing in the season. They're testing things out. Of course, guys are going to be looking good, or even quarterbacks looking bad. Like, it's not an indictment. Dude, if Tom Brady were to throw 6 picks in training camp, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's
just,
Tom Brady.
Regardless of that, I never liked the Jordan Love pick in general. I thought he was a 3rd rounder.
Oh, yeah, I didn't like it either.
Like all of that, I still don't think he's a good quarterback. Like I believe without Aaron Rodgers, I don't think they're a playoff team. I think they're like a 9-8, maybe 10-7 team without Rodgers, just because like he's that good, and like downgrading that much. I mean, look at a team like the Broncos, who have such a good roster, but because their quarterback sucks, like they've been a 5, 6, 7 win team. So like I'm not gonna go quarterback here, but it's just like I feel like they've got to try to get something that's gonna help elevate them without Aaron Rodgers. And so like I kind of want to go Zach Harrison in a way, because like I'm not a big fan of Rashawn Gary. Preston Smith probably gone soon. They don't have anyone at defensive end as it is.
Darius.
Yeah, well, he's an outside linebacker though.
Yeah, well, I mean they kick him on the line quite a bit. They use him a variety of different ways.
Yeah, it's either him
right next to Kenny Clark at some points last year, just because they're so thin.
It's either him. Where's he at? It's either him, David Bell, or Jamari Sawyer for me personally. And
yeah, that's another name there, man.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Sawyer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Zach Harrison, just because it not only is it absolutely tremendous value to get him all the way down here at 29, but like again, they don't have anyone at D end. At that point, you don't have to kick Smith down to D end. You can keep him there outside linebacker. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of Gary, and Preston Smith's probably gone soon. You've got to just elevate that team as much as you can if you're not gonna have Rodgers, because I don't think they're a playoff team without Rodgers. So
yeah. Yeah, that is not the wrong answer. Buffalo Bills. This team kind of has a little bit of it all. I don't want to go with a finesse pick like, tight end, because I really don't think there's a first-round tight end in this class.
Yeah, neither do I.
At this point. Like a lot of people like Weidermeyer, I think people are just throwing him their first round to be all, hey, look, a tight end. This is my top tight end.
Same with Spiller. Like, he shouldn't go first round either, but I kind of just hey, a running back.
No running back should ever go first round.
Well, I mean, I think you could have made a case for Najee and Etienne. I don't think they should have, but you could at least make a case. I don't feel like there's that kind of case with Spiller.
Yeah. You can make a case if you're playing fantasy football.
Yeah. Or like like a team that's like already got it all. Like if you just want to add icing on the like the Bills.
I get it. Running back could be a very good luxury pick, but also for me, you have to be like that Zeke, that Saquon Barkley level of talent as well. Christian McCaffrey. I don't think anyone in last year's class was of that level.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like with a team like the Bills, they've already got so much that like maybe a running back is a fine enough pick because like it's
they have Zach Moss. Zach Moss is great.
He's got potential.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? This one's a bit tough. I feel like we've jammed so many corners in this class already.
How many corners have we taken?
It feels like 6.
1, 2, 3.
So much in edge last
4.
There's no way we can go edge.
Yeah, we've already gone 6.
Yeah. I think actually with this, I'm gonna go linebacker. I thought they could have gone linebacker last year. I'm kind of stuck between 3 guys that I think are capable. Merlin Robertson, really, I think he's gonna be such a scheme-specific guy. Too.
He's kind of like that. Who was the guy at Arizona State this year?
Merlin Robertson,
or was it Arizona State? The Cardinals.
Tulsa.
Zayvon Collins.
Yeah, no, but he's like Zayvon Collins light. Like
yeah.
Then there's also Daphon. The Washington linebacker.
Edifin Alfashio.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of him, but it's like a very small sample size. It was really just last year. And then there's N'Kobe Dean out of Georgia, who's just another athletic freak. Similar to Christian Harris, he kind of struggled at parts in coverage, but also like Georgia doesn't put their linebackers in good positions. Like even Monty Rice, who I thought was very good last year, struggled in coverage at times.
Yeah.
But oh man, this is tough. Let's go with Dean, just because of the athletic upside. I think he's probably way more athletic than those 3.
You're going with who?
N'Kobe Dean. Hope I'm saying that first time. Linebacker out of Georgia.
N'Kobe. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's again athletically, he's probably up there with Christian Harris. It's just from a production standpoint, mainly in coverage. It needs work. It needs polish. But at the end of the first round, I feel better about taking a guy that's like super athletic. Like you need that from your linebacker in today's NFL.
Yeah.
If they're long and fast, it could work. And unfortunately, with Tremaine Edmonds, I don't think it has. So why not? Why not try to roll the dice again?
You know who I would have gone with there?
Who?
Olakunal.
Who?
Olakunal.
Who's that?
Fadikasi out of Rutgers.
Oh, I don't think he's nearly as athletic.
I love Fadikasi, dude.
I like him too, but I think he's more of. If we're gonna be talking about the Blake Martinez's of this draft class, I think he's probably in that regard. The Blake Martinez. I think he's gonna be a good linebacker, but like he's not gonna be good enough to move the needle.
Yeah, it's sort of like his brother. Like he's a great run defender, but he's nothing else than that. Like these guys, they're great tacklers, but they're nothing more than that. So yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think he's a liability in coverage.
No, that's why I like him better than Blake Martinez because he's not like bad in coverage, but
yeah. But yeah, I haven't done too great on that cat just because of like linebacker too is kind of a tricky position.
Yeah, we'll be seeing him for sure in the next video because like we probably won't get to the second or third round today.
Oh my gosh, I know, right?
We've done 1 hour on the first round, which I'm fine with. I love sitting here and talking, but
I mean, hey, decisions have to be made, and
yeah,
sometimes you gotta talk these out. It's not like we had these picks pre-made.
no, yeah, I didn't project this at all, so
Yeah, no lie. I literally waited until I'm on the clock. I'm like, oh crap, I should have really thought about this while you were talking.
yeah. Buccaneers, another team that really it's just luxury picks at this point. Like, you got Brady, you got I think his potential successor. Running back could still be a pick. Like, they've got Leonard Fournette 1 more year. Ronald Jones is fine. Like, he's not bad. He's not good.
Giovanni Bernard. They have
Keyshawn Vaughn.
I feel like
it's deep, but there's no one good.
Yeah, and you don't need that.
No, yeah. Receiver, they're so deep. Tight end, they've got guys.
Just fine.
Tackle might be a pick because Donovan Smith's not the best and he's getting older. Maybe you want to get.
He actually had a career year last year, but I mean, I think that's just because the rest of the line was so good.
Yeah, and then Tom Brady, but maybe you get someone on the D line. Or someone across from Antoine Winfield, but I don't really like any other safeties here in the first round. Edge players, like maybe Karl Loftus, like if he can return to that 1 year form, he'd probably go higher than this. So maybe it's worth hitting on that potential.
Who did they pick in the first round?
They took Joe Tryon. Yeah, he's more of that outside linebacker.
I mean, the dude's stupid strong. I mean, I think he's gonna be like the JPP role.
Yeah, I think for here, I'm gonna go. See, there's one guy I'm really tempted to go Wanya Morris. To be honest, here, I really love the potential on him more than anything.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, I'm tempted.
Him, man. I'm not a fan, but I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I'm tempted, but.
And I think there's other tackles that intrigue me that have just better production.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Sawyer. He's yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna go Sawyer. I really love Sawyer. He's my tackle number 3. I think you're preparing for the future there, obviously. For Donovan Smith, and he's super versatile actually, so he can play like that. If you want to replace Alex Kappa, or you let Ryan Jensen or Ali Marpet go sometime soon, whatever. He can play pretty much anywhere on the line, so I really like Sawyer here.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think for me it would have been him, and I think you can make a case for Zion Nelson.
Yeah,
I think his development since starting as a freshman's been tremendous, and if it continues, then yeah, I think maybe sky's the limit for this guy. I don't know if he necessarily comes out, since he'll be a true junior this year, but he's an interesting name to watch. All right, so I did think about this pick actually a few picks ago.
All right.
I'm going Drake London out of USC.
Drake London.
The Chiefs. Let's get them a big boy receiver with some after the catch ability. He might be like Cornell Powell, though. They drafted him. Yeah, that's fine, but he's not the athlete that my boy Drake London here is, man. I'm a big fan. I talked about him a lot in my receiver rankings video, just because, honestly, after the top 3 wide receivers, it's kind of like, oh, who's next? What could happen? And again, some of this is projection, just because, I mean, he was surrounded by a lot of good receivers there. Tyler Vaughn, Mon-Ra St. Brown, Michael Pittman the year before. So I think this year you will truly see him come and break out, be the number 1. All the signs that you saw last year. Granted, little small sample size, not terribly small, but small enough to where you're like, oh, hopefully this works out. I think are all there. They're pointed in a great direction, and I love that for the Chiefs. I think that's awesome. I think you actually get a Sammy Watkins caliber talent.
Yeah, 2 major thoughts with that pick is I do love the fit. I mean, that's a fantastic fit. Like, I love the fact that like he's not like necessarily a speed burner, but he can go up there and get it when Mahomes just like chucks it up to him. But also like they can really use him in like RPOs or like screens because he is like so good at making guys miss that like. Yeah, Drake London, I think, is not only a fantastic fit. The other thing is that, like, I think there's some question marks just being at USC. I think this year for him really could depend on if Slovis plays well or not. But also, like, I don't know if he steps up as the number one, so we'll have to see. But yeah, if he plays well enough, and like, I think that's a fantastic fit, London on the Chiefs. So.
Oh yeah, man. He's probably he's just good.
Yeah, so that's the first round. Yeah, we already spent an hour on this, so we'll probably like do a part 2 to this video.
Try to be a bit quicker.
Yeah, be a bit quicker. No, yeah, but that was an interesting and fun first round though. So, but yeah, so that is going to be the video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and once again, a big thank you to Broshmo. We'll probably be back for part 2, second and third round. So if you want to stay tuned for that, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. And go check out Broshmo's channel. I can't talk for this outro. Go check out Broshmo's channel. Super cool football analysis. So yeah. See you guys next time.